Hello, my dear and lovely Geminis. This is your horoscope for August 2024. And August will be quite a bit of a bumpy month with its challenges, especially the full moon. Second half of August might pose some sort of difficult times. However, all that matters is our attitude and our mood. More on a higher vibrations, we tend to ignore actually uh, those challenges, and even those challenges are not anymore so scary. They don't look as a challenge. They are just as a life itself. And the most important thing in August will be is your mood, my dear Geminis, and your attitude. Now let's go from the beginning of August. We have new moon on 4th of August. That new moon is an amazing one. New moons are all about new beginnings, some sort of new stories, something new is happening in your life. And which part of your life is the third house? And third house rules all things communication, all things signing contracts, some deals, commerce, and also transport, and also travel, some sort of short distance travel. And new moon will be happening at 12 degrees, and especially those of you who are born on 2nd of June, plus or minus 5 days, will be affected the most by this new moon. And new moon will be supported by happy planet, lucky planet Jupiter, and Mars, planet of action. Together, both of them situated in your first house, in your sign, my dear Geminis. You are the lucky ones of the zodiac until next year, June, because Jupiter is transiting your sign. Many Geminis will have amazing time and success time during this period while Jupiter will be in your sign, whether it's a marriage, whether it's a business or career or family or real estate. So you have quite a lot of hope for the whole year, my dear Geminis. Now, this Jupiter together with Mars, because Mars will be transiting your sign and it will be together with Jupiter, will make support to that new moon appearing in your third house. Seems like those of you who have, for example, siblings, brothers or sisters, or relatives, even neighbors, because third house rules all the people that we communicate, let's say, daily, more often. It's our immediate surrounding. Now, the third house is responsible for those people like your sisters, brothers, siblings, and also your neighbors that we have to deal with time to time, and also relatives, very close ones. Something new happening in their life, it might be one or two people, or it might be just of one of them. So you look at your own situation. It might be that they are like, because it's a new moon, there's a new story in their life. So new moons usually bring something new, like into them. Maybe they are moving somewhere, or maybe they are graduating, or maybe they are start dating someone new that they're gonna share with you this news, or they might be telling you some sort of new, happy, and exciting news. So watch over around 4th of August. And new moons and full moons, they bring messages within 10 days they appear. So 5 days before and 5 days after. So allow it 10 days of this 4th of August. You might be getting your news already by the end of July of this new moon, my dear Geminis. Now, because Jupiter rules, like naturally rules in your natal chart, your house of true love, your house of committed love, those partnerships that are committed, those of you who are like married or who are dating seriously long-term relationships, so it might be actually related to them. If it's not about your relatives, it might be that they will bring some news, like your wife or husband might bring some news for you. Something new is happening in their life. Maybe they are getting new position, or maybe they are start dating, or they are getting married, or they are moving somewhere. If it's your, let's say, if it's your ex, let's say, husband and wife, maybe something new is happening in their life. And also it also relates to the ones that are current, like your relationships. And Mars, because it rules your day-to-day activities and daily life, and also it rules your work. It seems like it might be that it will be somehow related to their daily activities, to their daily work. It might be new job or new position they are getting by this new moon, and they will be communicating it to you. That will make you happy, extra happy. And also, and another like topic actually might come up, that you might travel somewhere very near, not very far actually, somewhere where you can like fly 1 or 2 hours max, or by car like 3 hours max, somewhere very near, like, because third house is those short distance trips happening, and you might actually do that trip with your loved one or with your business partner. And for in some cases it might be related to your work. It might happen that you might travel because of your work or because of your health situation for some of you guys. Now, third house is also about transportation. Some of you might buy a new car by this new moon. It's an amazing new moon. If you're planning to buy, then I would actually pause it. Why? Because August we have Mercury retrograde, and Mercury is your ruler, my dear Geminis. And Mercury, the planet, is happen to be the planet of transportation, all technical, appliances planet. This all the things that are related to electrical, like technical things, and especially very expensive purchases as well, because Mercury is the planet of commerce, is the planet of trade, when two people trade, like how much, blah blah, all these things. Now, and if you're planning to buy a car, I would suggest you to pause that decision a bit, and at least until September, because whole August we have Mercury retrograding, meaning moving backwards. And Mercury, when it moves backwards, it slows down everything and makes it mixing all the information, miscommunication, and some sort of all the errors, all the let's say some sort of mistakes happen, and deals get postponed, or communication, some things might be changing during Mercury retrograde. If you don't have a chance to buy it let's say in September, to postpone your deal, then do it. But just so you know that during Mercury retrograde, buying very expensive things like car especially, or any technical things, always comes with at the later stage you might not like it anymore, or you might be some sort of disappointed with something, or it might come, the device itself might come with some sort of malfunction, and it might not be working properly, or something might be off about that actually. So just so you know. And if you're interested about Mercury retrograde, I've done one big video about Mercury retrograding on my channel, so hit my channel and find it, and you will know all about what to do during Mercury retrograde and what not to do. Better to postpone or to pause actually during Mercury retrogrades. And it's all about also plastic surgeries there, every interesting information you might find there, so make sure to check that video too. Now, also third house, as I said, also might be about your skills, because third house is the house of courage. It's the house of our skills, what we learn, and learn fast, not something we learn like years as a degree or something, but it's some particular degree skills, like driving skills, or maybe IT skills, something that you go on courses and learn something fast in 2-3 weeks or a month or 3, something that way. And it might be your case that you are starting this kind of course, you are upgrading your skills. Seems like, my dear Gemini, it's a nice way actually to start your August, and it might be actually related to the skills that you've already known before, and you might be the case that you are refreshing up your knowledge because Mercury is retrograding, and Mercury is your ruler, going backwards to the things that you've been doing before, that you knew how to do, let's say, and now you're just reviving those skills and how to do those things. Also, third house, as I said, it's about communication house. It's a dealship house. You might be signing contracts, which will be very important to you, and seems like you will be the initiator of that contract to whatever it might be related, any deals. Like, you will have quite a lot of drive to achieve that signatures from both sides, my dear Geminis. Now let's move to 5th of August. Next day after new moon, we have Venus, planet of love and beauty, moving into your house of family and house of real estate. Fourth house is the house of family and especially the place where you come from. Or also, this includes the place where you call home currently. Now, Venus moving there makes amazing, Venus is the planet of love. And of course, it will make amicable all the places. Seems like you will be visiting, might be visiting your home, where you've been living before, some places. And Venus also the natural ruler of your kids house. If you have them, it seems like you might be visiting your kids, or you might be traveling back home with your kids, like somewhere that you've been before, living with them and calling home, or maybe you're going back to your home country, let's say. And on another note, it might be that you would want to make your home beautiful, because Venus is the planet of beauty and it's coming into your real estate house, and it seems like you might be kind of thinking how to make beautiful designs or something to change in your living circumstances, my dear Geminis. The same day, we have Mercury retrograde. As I said already, we have whole August, Mercury being retrograde, going backwards. And it will retrograde until 28th of August. Even so that it starts on 5th and ends on 28th, allow Mercury always 10 days before and 10 days after, because it has a shadow period, this thing called shadow period. And shadow period is when we feel actually already its effect. Mercury is going backward. And exactly 5th of August and 28th of August, when Mercury changed direction, is the most critical days. So I would advise you not to buy anything expensive or sign any important papers, sign any important contracts, not to have any important communication on 5th and 28th of August, and also allow it 10 days plus from both sides. Now, Mercury will go retrograde, and it's your ruler, my dear Geminis. It's a fast thinker as you guys. Now, Mercury will be retrograding in your house of family. Seems like you will be quite, busy with your family or the place you've been before and called home before, you've been calling it home. Seems like you might be contacting your family and you might be actually going back there, or you might be sorting out something related to your real estate. It might be like going to archives or sorting out some papers related to your family tree, or digging up some, sort of information about your family past, family history. It might be your case, my dear Geminis. And when Mercury retrogrades your 4th house, when it will retrograde, it will cross, because it's moving backwards, it will cross into your 3rd house, house of communication, after 15th of August. So second half of August, while Mercury will be retrograding in your 3rd house of communication, here you should be extra careful, because all, this confusing stuff, like especially thinking, writing, and communicating. Make sure to communicate clearly. Make sure that you understand what other people are saying. It might be that it might seem that they are not communicating clearly, let's say, and all sort of miscommunication might happen when we have Mercury exactly in our 3rd house. And don't sign papers whole second part of August, especially that period, and because it's exactly in your signing papers house, so, signing important papers house, buying, transportation house, all these things better not to do, just so that 2 weeks second part of August, better avoid those things. Now 19th of August, we have this a very kind of challenging full moon, bumpy one, and in general, second part of August, some sort of like there is in the sky, all sort of arguments are happening between the planets. They are not friendly at all with each other. They are arguing, all of them, with each other, and this full moon sets the tone. Now, full moon on 19th of August will happen in your house of travel, higher mind, education. All this 9th house, covers the 9th house. Now, Ninth house is all about, as I said, higher mind, higher education, what you aspire to, and your travel. When we travel, our mind is opening, right? It's broadening. So that's why the travel is also here. And especially like maybe moving somewhere, like immigrating somewhere, is also here. Ninth house. Now that full moon will be happening at 27 degrees, meaning those of you who are born by the end of Gemini season, especially those of you who are born on 17th, 18th, or 19th of June, will be affected the most by this full moon, end of period of Gemini. So buckle up, you guys will be hit with this full moon the hardest. And full moon will be in disagreement with planet of surprises, Uranus. Now this planet, you never know what to expect when Uranus hits this hard. Now it will make a very unfriendly angle to that full moon and the planet will be situated in your 12th house. It's kind of bringing you all sort of innovation, all sort of new thinking. It's transforming your subconscious mind, my dear Geminis, already since 2018, making to look at this world differently, making to look inside of yourself, making you to assess what is happening within you. Now also Uranus, it rules natural rules according to your natal chart. It rules your higher mind house, exactly this house where the full moon is happening, your house of this ninth house is all about our belief system. It's all about in what things we believe in, like what is our concept of life. Are we religious? If yes, what kind of religion? Are we let's say faithful, or are we maybe not religious, or we believe into something else? What kind of lifestyle we are living? All these things are ninth house. And ninth house is our broader mind, and exactly full moon is happening there. And this planet that is responsible full moon, meaning the ruler of the full moon. In astrology we have also ruler, and in this case it's Uranus, is exactly making very harsh angle to that full moon. And it seems like it might be, if you, especially those of you guys who have been waiting for citizenship or something related to travel documents like visa, passport, or something related to immigration documents like I don't know, your application for immigration or citizenship. If you've been waiting news, then it seems like the news might come as disappointing to you, my dear Geminis. Don't lose hope. There are another times that you might be doing again the applications and you might succeed, because you should remember that Jupiter is the happiest planet of the universe, lucky planet, planet of luck and happiness, and also planet of expansion. It is in your sign for the whole year. You are so lucky. So no full moon, no new moons might be as so disappointing with Jupiter in your sign, my dear Geminis. You will have faith within yourself while Jupiter is transiting your sign. You will know for sure that you will get the documents, if not this time, just a couple of months later, or even 10 days later. So give time to the universe and make attempts more. Now for those of you who are we're planning to apply, I would advise you to do so later, because I'm sure that the universe will be giving you hints not to apply this time, like losing your documents or something, or mixing your documents, giving with some errors. Of course, there will be Mercury also at work, who will be giving all sorts of these things. There are mistakes in the documents might happen, some miscommunication might happen. So those, August will be full of these kind of things. And at this full moon, exactly this full moon, those of you who are exactly let's say busy with this immigration and legal documents, or citizenship, residence permit, and your passport things, not this time, my dear Geminis, I would like to say. But don't lose hope, because you have Jupiter. Lucky you, my dear Geminis. For some of you, if it's not about this, then it might be actually about travel. And as I said, during the travel, or if you've been planning to travel, it might get cancelled, or you might have some encounter some sort of delays, because Mercury is also retrograding, as I said. Or it might all of a sudden have some sort of surprises let's say, unwelcome surprises, not so happy surprises might bring, this during the travel, you might encounter some sort of surprises that you won't like. Also, for those of you who are busy with legal affairs, not this time, my dear Geminis. I would suggest you to stay low, because the result of that case might be disappointing. It might not be as you expect. So better not this time. If you have that opportunity to postpone it, do that. And this is exactly for those of you who are born by the end of Gemini season, my dear Geminis. Now, because this universe will be speaking directly to you for those Geminis. Now, for those of you who are like students or studying, because ninth house is also our higher education. When we study, our mind is broadening too. Ninth house is everything related to mind, actually. Now, it might be also come as disappointing because this is not a good full moon, seems like you might not get positive replies from universities, or if you've been applying to some sort of studies, it might not be positive as well, what you've been waiting, and you might not get the answer at all. It might be happening, or simply as that, because of Mercury retrograding, they might be mixing up your results with someone else's, especially during exam. Let's say for those of you who are passing exam, it might be they're mixing with someone else's results or someone else's work. This is also might be happening, and because of that, the score might be as you expect. Also, for those of you who are busy publishing, who are busy writing, my dear avid writers, Geminis, for you guys, it might be also, let's say, during this time, better postpone, maybe to revise your book again, or what you've been writing, let's say, your work again. Maybe give it a second chance, or third look, or fourth look, let's say, or try to give it for reading someone else, so that someone else might give you opinion before sending it to publishing houses or to editors, because this time they might come across as very harsh towards your work, my dear Geminis. Now, at the same time, on 19th of August, we have another bunch of planets who will be arguing, that are not related to this full moon, but on the other sphere of the sky, we have another planets that will be in argument. And those planets are Saturn, planet of work, hard work, and responsibilities, and Jupiter and Mars. Those two are together in your sign. Jupiter is the happy planet of luck, and Mars is the planet of action. They will be together, and Saturn will be situated in your career house. Now, in the third planet there, fourth planet, sorry, it will be Venus, planet of love and beauty, and it will be situated in your fourth house, house of family. Now, Saturn will oppose that Venus, and it seems like you might be in disagreement with someone from your family, or with your father, most likely, because Saturn is exactly in your father house, 10th house, and Venus is in your mother house, fourth house. Fourth house is associated with our mother. It might be the case that your father and mother might be in argument, or you might be with them arguing over something, over your life, because Jupiter and Mars is exactly, they are in your sign, in your first house. Seems like something's going on related to your family, or related to your status, like career. It might be that, let's say, in some cases it might be you've been, let's say, trying to apply to some position, and you've got that position, but then that position involves moving somewhere, relocating somewhere, and you might not like it, or your family might not like it, that decision. Someone from your family, it won't be so optimistic, let's say, decision for your family or for you, or also there could be a case that about, if you say that if it's not about career, then it might be about your real estate situation. You might not be, there might be a situation that involves your real estate, doesn't matter what, like apartment or house, whatever it is that you have or your family has. Now, something related to that, maybe your family or someone from your family might decide to sell it, or to have different purpose for that, and you might not like that decision. It could be the case too. And there are also situation might be related to moving. You might move back into your family house, like your parents' house, and let's say because you couldn't agree at work, something like, or you've been searching and you couldn't find for now something. But in any case, my dear Gemini, just don't lose hope, because Jupiter is exactly the planet of hope, and it's exactly in your sign. It's giving you quite a lot of hope, and I feel like you feel that energy. It's impossible not to feel Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of expansion. It's expanding your world, and some sort of you believe that everything will work out. Everything will have positive outcome. And it will, my dear Geminis. Whatever is your situation, just stay positive in August. Now, on 22nd August, we have Sun moving into your fourth house. You see how you get busy by the end of the month with your family situation somehow, or real estate situation for some of you. And for some of you, it might be a situation with your mom, or your, like, home, where you call home, your family also. Now, another thing, on 28th of August, we have Mercury ending its retrograde, meaning moving backwards. It's moving forward on 28th of August, and exactly 28th of August will be the day not buying anything and signing anything, any important contracts. Try to avoid that. And give to Mercury 10 days, to gain its strength and its power and its speed, so that it will be in direct motion, giving us all sorts of positive effects of its influence. And Mercury is exactly about communication and signing contracts, and it's your ruler, my dear Geminis. This was your horoscope for August. Stay positive in August. And stay tuned for September, because September will be another major month. Love you all. Bye bye.